see, we got a little problem here. The situation. Cavs need to understand what they can do moving forward to consistently have themselves an opportunity to playoffs. But also some things that have to really do a better job at. All right, we got some audio. Let's see if we get the audio back up. See what we doing. There we go. Y'all got the audio now? Y'all good? Muffled. Give me a second here. Oh, we good now. Okay, here we go. I'm out here struggling like the Cavs. I'm out here struggling like the Cavs, man. Welcome on into the Cavs post-game show. G. Bush in the building with you. We'll be here, as always, every single game for the Cavs game. And let's go ahead and get right off into this situation. First things first, let's bring up what we're looking at here on this recap. I mean, you look at this right now. Oh my goodness! Matter of fact, let me move my my banner out of the way because I want you guys to check this out because I think this is actually important. We're gonna hide that. Here we go now. So Cavs lose a tough game and they got blew out low key too. 119-98. This game was really never in doubt. The game was really never in doubt from the get go. You look at what the Charlotte Hornets did coming into this game, and they just put it on the Cavs immediately. And one of the most alarming things that we've talked about game in and game out for, I would say in the last 4 to 5 game stretches, you see people jumping out to large leads on the Cavaliers, and today was no different. You got guys like LaMelo Ball. Today, scary Terry Rozier put on another homecoming show. Every time he see the Cavs, every time he step into 216, Terry Rozier is out for blood. This dude kills us today. 30-something 9 points. But it wasn't just him. Bridges killed us today. And your boy, you know who we talking about. The left-handed guy. We'll get to him too. This dude, man, he kills us. He really kills us. And the fact that they shoot these threes so well, and the crazy part about it is, in the beginning of the game, we weren't even contesting some of these threes. We're late to get out on some of the contests, and the Cavs have to be able to. Kelly Oubre, that's his name, Kelly Oubre. I'd be so mad at him, I'd be trying to forget. Kelly Oubre killed this on the threes today again as well, too. But when you're looking at this game and when you're looking at what happened today, it's a microcosm of what's been happening over the last few games. Darius Garland came back and did his thing, but it was a little too late. The Cavs are a team that got to have multiple people that are in double figures, multiple people that are out there getting double-figure points. And early in the season, like Austin Carr said, they had guys out there getting, everybody, 9-10 guys averaging 12, 10, 15. Today, it was only Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen. Mobley looked like he was a little bit lost today. The defense wasn't as sharp as it usually is. Kevin Love didn't have the impact that he did. And I think these are all evident things when you look at it and take a look at the box score. First and foremost, let's go ahead and welcome you guys on in. If you want to go ahead and donate, you can donate to the show at $GBush91. Super chats are available as well. Thank you guys for hanging out, staying up a little late on the weeknight just to do this. We'll be really quick. We're going to get it in. We're going to be quick. So we're going to continue to give you these post-game shows. And as always, if you do want to get a hold of me and you do want to be one of the guests, I believe we have 2 guests coming on, 2 individuals that are going to call into the show. If you want to be part of that, please go ahead and submit an email to 5thdimensionmedia1 at gmail.com. I'll put the banner up here as well after we get done with getting through some of these stats. Let's take a look at a couple box scores. And let's get to this. We look at these box scores for the Hornets. And the thing that definitely steps and just hits you right in the face is Terry Rozier, 29 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds today. He was the catalyst. He was the guy who did it to you all game. And then you go down and you look at Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre, 19 points off the bench, 5 assists, 4 rebounds as well. But you had another plethora of guys out there that were getting their money off too. Look how many guys in double figure. Bridges hit some big shots today, 15 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds. You go to PJ Washington, 12 points coming in and out off the bench, but 12 points, in this game as a starter. And then you look at Montrezl Harrell, 11 points, and Isaiah Thomas coming off the bench, kind of showing some flashes of old IT. So you look at what's been going on, and you take a look at these numbers, and you see you can't have a guy like Terry Rozier getting 29, but you didn't shut the water off for anybody. I mean, you let PJ Washington get off. You let Miles Bridges get off. You even like the bench guys like Montrezl Harrell and Isaiah Thomas hit double figures. And when you're spotting people that many points early in the game, down by 20, you're going to be in for a long show, my man. Long show. Let's get to some of these comments before we take a look at the Cavs box score and what they did offensively. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Let's get to it. My man, Bear Theater says, we need LeVert back. Man, we need him back in the worst way. We might need LeVert and Colin Sexton back. We might need both of them dudes back. B. Skrill says, horrible game. I couldn't agree more. When you look at this game, they came out and they got smoked. My wife was like, the game over already? I'm like, yeah, babe. Smoke show. We got smoked. This game wasn't even close. It wasn't close. Just wasn't. And that's the alarming thing for the Cavs. If they want to get to the playoffs and they want to be one of the teams that can advance, they're going to need to step the game up, and they're going to have to play hard every possession, and their defense has to be top notch for them to advance. That's what I'm seeing now. From this team. And I'm not knocking them. They're a young squad. You got rookies out there. They overachieved the first half of the season. Can they still get to, make some noise? Sure they can. They just have to understand that no more, they're not a cute little story no more. And NBA people giving you that best shot, they coming through to knock you out. Cavs better look in the mirror and JB better get them ready. My man. JB was mad, and trust me, he gonna tear into a few cats because he got ejected tonight. And usually coaches in the NBA do that to try to rile their guys up, try to muster some guys, and to get that riled up and continue to go. I think that was a situation that JB tried to do, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work like that. Let's get to the Cavs box score because I think this shows where the damage was done. We saw all the double-digit figures. We saw all the individuals who were scoring in double figures for the Hornets. You go to the Cavs box score. Jarrett Allen had a nice game, 18 points and 11 rebounds. I thought he played very well. Darius Garland, top point man. You see the difference between what the Cavs can be with Darius Garland and what they can't or can't be if he's not there. If Darius Garland is not playing, it's a wrap. The offense looks stagnant. The bigs can't get the ball. Guys can't get up the court. And I just think overall, you don't have enough scoring punch if Darius Garland's not in the game. First game back, 33 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. But you do notice assist totals down, only to 4, right? So now when you look at this and you watch the situation, you got a situation where you got 33, but only 4 assists. And then take a look at guys like Lauri Markkanen. He had 12. That's good. Evan Mobley. This was a very down game for Evan Mobley. 9 points, 2 assists, and the 5 rebounds is kind of suspect too. 5 rebounds is suspect for me too. It just looked like he was a little bit lost tonight. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Bridges and and Plumlee got their hands on a lot of loose balls, and it was just a situation where Mobley was kind of out of whack. I think the last few games he's been trying to find his flow back into the offense, and when you're a guy that I know they're not calling that many sets for you, that's going to be a problem too. Hopefully, JB can get him back into it and continue to work and get towards that. Let's get to Isaac Okoro. Here's another one. Hit a big three last game, but these are the games where Isaac Okoro becomes a liability. He has good defensive tools, but he's really not locked down at this point. He's not a lockdown guy at this point. In his offensive game, we all know what his limitations are there. 4 points tonight for Isaac Okoro. And if you look at between Evan Mobley and Isaac Okoro as your starting guards and you starting, power forward and your starting shooting guard, and you only get 13 points from that, you're going to be in trouble. Jetty had chipped in 9. Kevin Love, this is another thing that hurt. Kevin Love, 7 points tonight, 5 assists, only 1 rebound. Look at the rebound totals. You could tell that the Hornets was getting second chance points. 5 rebounds only for Mobley. You look at Lauri Markkanen, he had 5 rebounds, but when you get to Kevin Love, 1 rebound, 7 points. That's where the game was lost right here. In terms of the 6 man coming off the bench, Kelly Oubre 19 to Kevin Point 7 points, and then you didn't get nothing from the rest of the guys. Goodwin, Stevens, Dean Wade, all these guys. These guys were no factor whatsoever. No factor whatsoever. Let's get back to some of your comments and quotes here a little bit. My stream for the game was real slow. Man, hey, my stream was slow in the beginning, and the Cavs are slow right now. So, you know what I'm saying? It looks like my man says it looks like the Brown return is a possibility now that the Lakers trash. We need a guy like LeBron. I always tell people, be funny to me. A lot of cats be running around here faking in front and talking about we don't need LeBron. We don't even need LeBron like that. And I'm like, well, we don't kinda. But you good luck. Good luck being an individual who is going to turn down the services of LeBron James. Good luck on that. Good luck, homie. Let's see. My man says, I want a shooter like Buddy Hield to space the floor, and Allen and Mobley and Lauri still need the development, but that's okay. We will grow. Yeah, Brant, I totally agree with it. See, there's levels to this thing, right? Some people, hit me up the other day and was like, G. Bush, your content it's totally different from what the Browns are. It's totally different. You're out here, you're warming the shoulders up with the Cavs, but you don't do the same thing for the Browns. I'm like, listen, man, first of all, it's a certain thing called they just won the championship in 2016. Let's be clear. And I know it was because of LeBron James, but let's not act like they didn't get a title. Let's not act like they did not go to the finals 4 years in a row, right? I mean, the Cavs, as far as consistently winning in this era, giving you more deep pushes, is evident. The Browns haven't won nothing since I've been alive, and they're not close to winning anything. There's levels to it. But the Browns, you know what the Browns do? The Browns is waiting for next year. We know it's a football city. But when you take a look at the way that the Cavs is built for the long haul and the way that the Browns had all the hype in 2019, hype was there again in 2021. And when the hype is on, the Browns haven't proved anything. And third, this team is wildly young. We're talking about a rookie, Evan Mobley playing, Darius Garland, third-year guy. Jarrett Allen is, 23 years old. Marketed is his first year. You still got Karis LeVert in his first year. All these guys are trying to figure out their way and learn how to do it. And they were overachieving in the beginning of the season. But I will say this. If they want to do something special, they're going to have to continue to grow because you can't keep getting down by 20 points. That's a very bad habit. Hey, put it in chat. Do y'all remember when LeBron them used to come out at every third quarter and just play terrible? Like those Cavs teams that went to 4 straight finals, it used to be so frustrating watching these dudes just layups and the Cavs are down 10 again. That's the kind of stuff that will mess you up, man. You cannot continue to do that, man. Isaac needs to step his offense up. Nah, Isaac need to go to a camp. He need to go to like a Pete Newell ABCD camp. I don't know what he got to do. He need to live with the Currys. He need to listen. He need to try to change his name to Isaac Curry or something. Or change his middle initial to Curry and sleep in a tent in that backyard and figure out how to hit some open shot. I mean, that boy. I mean, who else is kind of hold their breath? It's two people that I hold my breath every time they get to rock. One is Isaac Okoro, and the other is Jetty Osman. Jetty gets to rock, and he just be moving around, and I'm like, give it to a guard. I sound like an old school kid that's coaching like 5th graders. Give it to a guard, and you'd be like, dang, but Jetty is a guard. He scares me a lot. Man. Just stick to team play. The ball movement has been down too. Watch those games, when they were really moving and shaking and they had the whole world talking about the Cavs. The two things that were very evident is the level of how hard they played. They played hard every single play, and they were getting defensive stops. Plus, you look at it, they were moving the ball a lot better. Moving the ball was flowing, everybody was touching it, guys were making open passes, and now it just seems like that there's a little more, I would say, one-on-one game. There's a little more one-on-one game at what everybody's doing today. So I think they got to really revert back to that as well. Cavs been bad since the All-Star break, and it's frustrating, especially since they can be so much better. That's the thing about. That's one of the things I always talk about with young guys. And I hate to keep bringing up back football, but even guys like, we talk about Baker Mayfield, his problem is just consistency. And it's hard to teach young people to be able to get up and be consistent. Get up, consistency. That's something that, we have a hard time doing. And right now, the Cavs need to find that consistency. They need to limit the runs that people are going on. Right now, they lost, 5 out of 6. They was 4 out, 5 out of 6. So how do you right the ship? And it's going to be tough right that ship as we look at a few things like this. Let's just go ahead and take a look at these standings, right? Let's take a look at the standings a little bit here. You got the Miami Heat, obviously, is at the top of the Eastern Conference, and they look like they're pulling away a little bit, just slightly. And they're 41-21. The Bulls are 2 games back. They're 39-23. The Sixers are 37-23. So they're 3 games back. And then you got the Bucks, who is in 4th seed. They kind of leapfrogged the Cavs a little bit because the Cavs were in that 4th seed for a while. Cavs, again, still about 11 games over 500, but they're 4.5 out. However, look at the teams below the Cavs, right? Take a look at the teams below the Cavs. You got the Celtics who are surging. Now, granted, they're going to have, Brown is out with an ankle injury. And they are right now half a game back of us in that 6th spot. The Raptors are just 2 games back in the 7th. The Nets, the scary Nets, that if they get it together, nobody would play them. They're only back from the Cavs. They're a little bit away, but they're only 5 games out on the Cavs. And look at all these teams down here. Look at these teams that are in the bottom. We call them bottom feeders, so to speak. But here's the issue. The Cavs have trouble playing these teams. Cavs traditionally have trouble against the Wizards. They have trouble against the Hawks. Right now, the Hornets are 30-33, and they had trouble with them all the time. Every time the Hornets play the Cavs, they have trouble beating them all the time. So what you got is there is no easy games moving forward. You just lost to the Pistons. They've only won 15 games. The Pacers always play the Cavs tough. And so these games moving ahead are very, pivotal in order to get the Cavs where they want to go. I think it's super, super important for them to continue to try to get on the winning streak. And look, you got to stay away from that 6th, 7th, 8th seed. You do not want any parts of that play-in stuff because that's the worst nightmare you can have at this time. Let's go ahead and get back to some of your not calls, but some of your messages. Let's see what we got. Why? Let me put this back up. Why is our defense playing so bad now? We had one of the best defenses before now, and it's trash. It's one of them things where defense is kind of like a savings account. So follow me along here. Defense is like a savings account. When you got a savings account, it's not sexy because you're really not doing anything with the money you're saving, right? Savings account is something long term. Savings account is an account where you may be saving for a house, saving for your kids, college, saving for your retirement. So yeah, it's cool to put the money in. However, you're not making no withdrawals. It's a long-term proposition. So sometimes people be like, man, I'm not even going to start. I'll just worry about it later. I ain't even going to start. I'll worry about it later. I'll get my savings together. Knowing good and well, they don't have anything to fall back on when it comes time to make that withdrawal. Defense is the same thing. Defense, you have to, it takes a lot of energy and it takes discipline to consistently invest in defense. And that includes every single practice, every single game. And to hang your hat on defense, you got to have guys that are willing to pay the price physically and willing to be mentally strong enough not to have lapses, not to let guys get to the basket, not let guys, this don't count. This is just one. Or, I did rotate before, but am I going to rotate on a third pass when the ball is skipping from side to side? Am I still going to rotate and pay the price and really close out on the shooter with 3 seconds left in the shot clock? All of that is not sexy, and all of that takes discipline. But just like a savings account, it's important that you can take the money out when you actually need it. I don't nobody want to put the money in, but when you need it, and you got to have that car repair, or your kid going to school, or you got that house and they tell you need $10,000 on a down payment. Oh, it's lovely when you got it. It's just like defense. Defense is lovely when you've been doing it and practicing and it's second nature. And then when you really need it in the playoffs, guess what? Other teams is trying to figure it out. You ain't trying to figure it out. You already know what you're going to do. It's second nature. And that's what makes the difference between elite teams like the Spurs, who hung their hat on defense. The Detroit Pistons were teams that hung their hat on defense. And those are defensive teams that won championship. But it's a hard way to go. It's a really hard way to go, man. We need to work with a lethal shooter. We do need a shooter. We definitely need a shooter. It's very evident because we tonight couldn't buy a bucket from three, could not sniff a bucket from three. And when you got guys who can't hit open shots besides Darius Garland, people going to pack it in on y'all. That's what they're going to do. They're going to pack it in. And that's where you start to get in trouble, because now when you constrict the floor and you don't move the floor, now you can't get those isolated one-on-one matchups with the bigs down low because they're trying to switch to pick and roll. See what I'm saying? You got to have guys that are knockdown shooters that scare people, where they can't just sag off and just say we gonna collapse the paint. Not gonna happen. The way we play tonight, they can easily get swept in the first round. Yeah, they got to pick the pace up real fast. Listen. Heck yeah, they can get swept. Like, once again, it's, trust me. And I was even, I'm hyperbole king. Sometimes you get wrapped up. Sometimes you get caught up in the rapture. Word to Anita Baker. And you just loving them so much. You just like, look at all these tools we got. We about to go to the finals. But we forget, you got to put that work in. It's you can't fast forward nothing. You got to put that work in. Right now, we don't got the rotations. Right now, we don't even got enough healthy bodies. And to be truthful, coming up, looking at this schedule, we'll give you a schedule as well coming up here in just one moment. And you look at who we playing up coming up next. Schedule gets no easier. Want to shout out my man out here. Let me see if I can get it. Shout out to my man Taylor from Risen Outfitters. Look at this, boom, love it, man. He has a Christian-based shoe company, and shout out to him, man. I went to him and he definitely hooked me up. I got some exclusive Jordans. I'm a sneakerhead. Everybody know that. So I'm always watching, Complex and those guys going sneaker shopping. So shout out to him. He really was listening to my radio show one day, and he says, "Yo, G Bush, you said you're a sneaker guy, man. Pull up on me. I got, business where I resell exclusive, very vintage, hard to find shoes. And you know me, I had a laundry list. I put it right to it. I want these 12s. You got the 7s, you got the Concords, you got any of them Yeezys, you got some Red Octobers. Like, I just threw it to him. And that man, he had it. He had all of them. He said, I got that. He had them ready for me. Outside, ready to go, taking a look at the shoes. Shout out to him. So if you're a kickhead, you like sneakers, you collect them, or you just like J's to stay fresh, man, check out my dude Taylor at Risen Outfitters, and you can find them in Twinsburg. Tell him G Bush sent you out there, man. Definitely good situation. Let's keep it moving. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Oh, do we have anybody on the hotline?
The Google subscriber you have called is not available. Please leave a message after the tone.
I think it's who we got on the hotline. Got somebody on the hotline? We good? Nah, we might have to wait. Get them there again. We'll get them there again. I think we got somebody coming on the hotline. We'll continue. They'll give me a call back. Let's continue on. Cavs should dominate the rebounds. More plays for Mobley and Allen to throw the double hammer down. Rondo will bring more open shots and the alley-oops. Yeah, other teams have done a good job of kind of scouting what the Cavs do best. They've kind of done, their homework on that. They kind of done their homework a little bit in terms of what exactly the Cavs do great, what things did they want to shut down. And I think they've been doing a good job of doing that with guys like Mobley, Allen, and a lot of other cats. It's just been a great first half for those guys, but just think they're still young individuals. So I think that's something that you're really going to have to take into account for too. Once the game slow down, you're going to be getting people that are out here scouting you all the time. It just is what it is. Is what it is. Let's go really quickly. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. Let's take a look at this upcoming schedule. Right now, coming up on Friday, we get another opportunity to see that monster, that monster in Philly. Joel Embiid is out there, and James Harden has been playing crazy. You can always tell when James Harden want to do something because he's a guy who just basically just can get himself into shape, and he looks like he's great overnight. So look at that situation. You got those guys are going to play on Friday, 7 p.m. That's a tough game. Then you're coming back. Raptors are moving up to Eastern Conference ranks, and we got that game on a Sunday. But look at the rest of these. You got the Sixers, Raptors, Pacers, and the Heat. And then you got a back-to-back on March 11, 8 o'clock game. Friday, March 11 is with the Heat. Then you come back on Saturday at 8 and do a back-to-back with the Bulls, who are in second place. In the conference with a guy like DeMar DeRozan, who could possibly be an MVP in his league, depending on how well he plays down the stretch. Then you go to the Clippers, back to Philly on Wednesday, March 16th. Then you got Denver Nuggets and Jokic coming to the crib on March 18th, and back with the Detroit Pistons. And the Pistons, like we said before, Pistons play us so well. Pistons play us so well all the time. And then guess who? We got LeBron and the Lakers on the 21st, 7 p.m. So you look at that schedule. Hey, there is ain't no slackers on that. Ain't no slackers on that situation right there, man. I mean, it just goes to show you that you can't rest on your laurels because they got to have all of that. They're going to have all of that, man. They got to have every single one of those games. And they need to be splitting with those good teams, too, because you can go from 4th to 6th in a heartbeat, and you're going to be looking crazy. You can go to 4th to 6th in a heartbeat and be looking crazy. My man, Cobra the Don. I want to know how you got your name, too. You get the name Cobra the Don, man. I like to see more Wendler, more than a Coro. It'll be interesting to see what kind of rotations he's going to have moving forward, because obviously some of these people's not going to be able to, just keep getting minutes like this. Rotations usually go down to 6 or 7, and those rotations usually come around 6 or 7, and that's what you just roll with. It's what you roll with. If you're just coming in and you just peeping in the screen, you just jumping into the stream. Cavs lose tonight 119-98. As you can tell, it got bad early. They were already down, 14, I believe, at halftime. And they just kept putting it on. As you can see, the Cavs trying to make a little run at it in the third quarter. They actually got beat by 1 point that quarter. But look at every single quarter. Cavs got beat every single quarter when it comes to the matchups. They lost those. And, today, obviously the player of the game has to be Terry Rozier, 29.7 rebounds, 7 assists. And he was lights out. He always plays well when he comes home and plays with the Cavaliers. And then, just to look really quickly at the Cavs, Darius Garland had a really good game, 33 points. I think that was a season high. But look at the assist. You can always tell when we're going to be formidable that night, because Darius Garland is up around 9-10 assists. Tonight, only 4 assists. That shows me the ball was stagnant a little bit. People weren't moving the ball around, and that's what it just got to. So, when we look at all these things, these are some of the things that are really nerve-wracking to me, and I'm thinking about it as we go on throughout the rest of the season. So that's one thing that we're going to definitely do. If you are in here right now, please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Also, subscribe to the Barbershop channel. We will be doing the Cavs post-game show every single night after the Cavs game. We'll try to get you in and get you out. Don't wait too late. No, it's Wednesday. Got to get the kids to bed. Got to get everybody ready to go. But we'll be trying to do these every single after every single Cavs game. Also, make sure you check out the other content, NFL games, Browns, all of that, and just hit the like button, because it really goes a long way in getting this content seen. It goes a long way into getting Cavs fans or basketball fans in general involved and shown to different people. I think in closing, I think that the main takeaway from this game is the Cavs are going to have to fight, claw, all they can. They're going to have to fight, claw, steal all they can in order to get into these playoffs. And I don't think they can take anything for granted. Every game down the backstretch is going to be important. It's going to be pivotal. And we're just looking to see how great JB Bickerstaff is at making adjustments and getting his young team focused and refocused on the things that they do well, which is hustling, rebounding, playing defense, and being very active in moving the ball. Once again, it was tonight, Cleveland 98, Charlotte 119. We will be back with you on Friday. As always, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And thank you for being a part of the Cavs post-game show.